Hello fellow nerds, we are back with another Curse of Strahd video, and today I decided to refresh my memory concerning the treasures you can find in this campaign. So we are going to have a look at Appendix C, Treasures. And as always, this video contains spoilers for Curse of Strahd. Duh. Scattered throughout Markovia are ancient treasures that can be brought to bear against Strahd von Zarovich and his fell servants. The location of 3 of them, the Tome of Strath, the holy symbol of Ravenkind, and the Sun Sword, are determined by the results of the card reading in Chapter 1. The other items can be acquired as characters discover their whereabouts during the course of the adventure. The Tome of Strath is an ancient work penned by Strahd, a tragic tale of how he came to his fallen state. The book is bound in a thick leather cover with steel hinges and fastenings. The pages are of parchment and very brittle. Most of the book is written in the curious shorthand that only Strahd employs. Stains and age have made most of the work illegible, but several paragraphs remain intact and readable. If the characters acquire the Tome of Strath and want to read these paragraphs, show the players the From the Tome of Strath section in Appendix F. If Strahd sees or learns from a minion that the tome has fallen into the party's possession, all of his other objectives are put on hold until the book is recovered. When he attacks, his preferred target is whoever has the tome. Now, in the campaign where I'm a player, I think we have found it. Disclaimer, I did not participate in the session of the card reading because I was sick. And the campaign has been running for 2 years already, so I don't know how the card reading went. But I think we have found the tome, and we have dubbed it the Diary of an Emo Teenager. Yes, we are taking this very dark horror campaign very seriously. The Strahd campaign where I DM has been on hold for a while due to people having lives and jobs, and they haven't acquired any of the 3 quest items. Okay, moving on to magic items. The magic items described here, if they are found, can play significant roles in the adventure. I distinctly remember our DM being exasperated because we have missed so many magic items and she has to keep putting them in new places for us to find, only for us to run past them again. Well, let's see which of these we have discovered. Blood Spear is a weapon, a spear, and it is uncommon and requires attunement. Kavan was a ruthless chieftain whose tribe lived in the Balinok Mountains centuries before the arrival of Strahd. Although he was very much alive, Kavan had some traits in common with vampires. He slept during the day and hunted at night. He drank the blood of his prey, and he lived underground. In battle, he wielded a spear stained with blood. He was the first blood spear. His was the first blood spear, a weapon that drains life from those it kills and transfers that life to its wielder, imbuing that individual with the stamina to keep fighting. When you hit with a melee weapon attack using this magic spear and reduce the target to 0 hit points, you gain 2d6 temporary hit points. Now we have not encountered this weapon, but we have encountered someone called Kavan, and I think this might be a part where my DM homebrewed this campaign or took other people's homebrew from Reddit, because my dwarf has 2 battle axes, the cursed ones that I have mentioned previously, and if I remember correctly, the ghost she fought to gain these axes and attune to them was called Kavan. But they have been tweaked. Oh, the next one I know. Gothias Staff. It's a staff, it's rare, and it also requires attunement. Made from the branch of a Gothias tree, a Gothias staff is a spongy, black length of wood. Its evil makes beasts visibly uncomfortable while within 30 feet of it. The staff has 10 charges and regains 1d6 plus 4 of its expended charges daily at dusk. If the staff is broken or burnt to ashes, its root releases a terrible, inhuman scream that can be heard out to a range of 300 feet. All blights that can hear the scream immediately wither and die. Vampiric Strike. The staff can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff. On a hit, it deals damage as a normal quarterstaff, and you can expend 1 charge to regain a number of hit points equal to the damage dealt by the weapon. Each time a charge is spent, red blood oozes from the staff's pores, and you must succeed on a DC 12 Wisdom saving throw or be afflicted with short-term madness. Blight Pain. While you are attuned to the staff, blights and other evil plant creatures don't regard you as hostile unless you harm them. Now, we have found this staff, and ironically, my dwarf is attuned to it. And our DM definitely changed the statistics of the staff. She removed Vampiric Strike, and she gave me the ability to summon 3 kinds of blights, I think. Either one of the strong ones, I forgot the name, or 3 of the weak ones, or 2 of the medium ones. Which is absurd, because my dwarf, I think when she got the stuff, she just picked it up like, okay, the enemy dropped this and I loot everything I find, so I take this with me. And then we had a long rest, and during the night the staff kind of ate into her ankle. I do have to roll Constitution saving throws for that every long rest now, or lose hit points. And, well, Dwarven Fighter Lady, now you're attuned to a magic item made of wood. Yeah, and our healer Warlock found out and is now trying not only to cure her alcoholism, but also her self-harming staff thing. It's weird. But yeah, she's attuned to a wizard weapon. And now that she knows it's kind of bad with eating into her leg every day, there's no point for her to offer it to somebody else, like the bard, because, she pretends not to care about other people, but she does very much care about her party members. So, she's attuned to an evil staff. Moving on to the next magic item. The Holy Symbol of Ravenkind is a wondrous item. It's legendary. And it requires attunement by a cleric or paladin of good alignment. Well, good luck with that in our campaign. I think we have one party member with a good alignment. 2 if you include the chicken she adopted. We don't have a paladin and we don't have a cleric. We used to have a paladin, but the player left the campaign due to, well, not having time for 5 different D&D campaigns. Okay, but we haven't found this one yet. Let's have a look. The Holy Symbol of Ravenkind is a unique holy symbol sacred to the good-hearted faithful of Barovia. It predates the establishment of any church in Barovia. According to legend, it was delivered to a paladin named Lugdana by a giant raven, or an angel in the form of a giant raven. Lugdana used the holy symbol to root out and destroy nests of vampires until her death. The high priests of Ravenloft kept and wore the holy symbol after her passing. The holy symbol is a platinum amulet shaped like the sun with a large crystal embedded in its center. The holy symbol has 10 charges for the following properties. It regains 1d6 plus 4 charges daily at dawn. Hold vampires. As an action, you can expend 1 charge and present the holy symbol to make it flare with holy power. Vampires and vampires spawn within 30 feet of the holy symbol when it flares must make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, a target is paralyzed for 1 minute. It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns to end the effect on itself. Turn Undead. If you have the Turn Undead or the Turn the Unholy feature, you can expend 3 charges when you present the holy symbol while using that feature. When you do so, Undead have disadvantage on their saving throws against the effect. Sunlight. As an action, you can expend 5 charges while presenting the holy symbol to make it shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. The light is sunlight, and that's important, and lasts for 10 minutes or until you end the effect. No action required. The next item is the Icon of Ravenloft. The Icon of Ravenloft is also a wondrous item, and a legendary one, that requires attunement by a creature of good alignment. The Icon of Ravenloft is a 12-inch tall statuette made of the purest silver, weighing 10 pounds. It depicts a cleric kneeling in supplication. The icon was given to Strahd by the archpriest Cyril Romulich, an old family friend, to consecrate the castle and its chapel. While within 30 feet of the icon, a creature is under the effect of a protection from evil and good spell against fiends and undead. Only a creature attuned to the icon can use its other properties. Augury. You can use an action to cast an augury spell from the icon with no material component required. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn. Bane of the Undead. You can use the icon as a holy symbol while using the turn undead or turn the unholy feature. If you do so, increase the save DC by 2. Cure Wounds. While holding the icon, you can take an action to heal one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. The target regains 3d8 plus 3 hit points unless it is an undead, a construct, or a fiend. Once used, this property can't be used again until the next dawn. Now I think we have recently found this. The Blood Hunter, who recently joined our campaign, stole it from the chapel in Castle Ravenloft. Ironically, usually my dwarf steals everything, but she promised to be on her best behavior, only for the Blood Hunter to go looting. Rude. The next item is Saint Markovia's thigh bone. Okay. Oh, it's a weapon. It's a mace. It's not an actual thigh bone. You never know in Curse of Strahd. It's rare and it also requires attunement, like any magic item in this list. Saint Markovia's thigh bone has the properties of a mace of disruption. If it scores 1 or more hits against a vampire or a vampire spawn in the course of a single battle, the thigh bone crumbles into dust once the battle concludes. Okay, that doesn't seem very helpful. As a youth, Markovia followed her heart and became a priest of the Morning Lord soon after her 18th birthday. She proved to be a charismatic proselytizer, and before the age of 30 had gained a reputation for allowing no evil to stand before her. Markovia had long considered Strahd a mad tyrant, but only after his transformation into a vampire did she dare to challenge him. As she rallied her followers and prepared to march on Castle Ravenloft, Strahd sent a group of vampire spawn to her abbey. They confronted Markovia and were destroyed 2-1. Suffused with confidence born of righteous victory, Markovia advanced on Castle Ravenloft. A great battle raged from the catacombs to the parapets. In the end, she never returned to Barovia, and Strahd long afterward walked with a limp and a grimace of pain. It is said that he trapped Markovia in a crypt beneath his castle, and her remains linger there yet. The essence of her saintliness passed partly into her bones as the rest of her body decomposed. Her remaining thigh bone is imbued with power that inflicts grievous injury on the undead. And the last item is the Sun Sword, which is a long sword. It's legendary and it requires attunement. The Sun Sword is a unique blade once possessed by Strahd's brother Sergei von Zarovich. In its original form, it had a platinum hilt and a guard, and a thin crystal blade as strong as steel. Strahd employed a powerful wizard named Kazan to destroy the weapon after Sergei's death. The first part of the process required the hilt and the blade to be separated, which Kazan accomplished. While Kazan was busying himself destroying the blade, his apprentice stole the hilt and fled. Kazan later located his apprentice's mutilated corpse in the Svalage woods, but the hilt was nowhere to be found. To avoid the vampire's wrath, Kazan told Strahd that the entire weapon had been destroyed. The hilt, which is sentient, knows that it can never be reunited with its original crystal blade. It has, however, gained the properties of a sunblade. Sentience. The Sun Sword is a sentient, chaotic, good weapon with an intelligence of 11, a wisdom of 17, and a charisma of 16. It has hearing and normal vision out to a range of 60 feet. The weapon communicates by transmitting emotions to the creature carrying or wielding it. Personality. The Sun Sword's special purpose is to destroy Strahd, not so much because it wants to free the land of Barovia from evil, but because it wants revenge for the loss of its crystal blade. The weapon secretly fears its own destruction. Now that's an interesting use of a cursed blade, a chaotic good curse, and a talking weapon. Oh, that could be so much fun. I hope we find this soon. We haven't yet, obviously. Well, that's it for the magic items in Curse of Strahd. I hope you like this. I certainly did. I have a lot of ideas should we ever continue my Curse of Strahd campaign. But I also have a lot of ideas, player-wise, if we ever encounter the Sun Sword. Well, we have to encounter it. It's one of the 3 quest items. Maybe I'll try to exchange it for the staff. Oh, but I would have to let go of the axes. Choices will have to be made. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day, if you're just starting your day. And if you're using this to fall asleep to, I wish you very pleasant dreams. Until the next one. Bye bye, fellow nerds.